Hello, my friends. I'm Jose. I'm back here to talk to you about the smooth in Blender. You know, when we start to work with a new software like Blender, in my case, I've been working previously with some Autodesk software like SSI. There are some peculiarities that we we afford when we start to work. In this case, I'm going to talk about the smoothing because by default in Blender, the objects, the geometry we create, we add to our scene um, appears in flat mode. I'm going to delete this cube. I'm going to add a cylinder, and we can see here, we can appreciate that the object is in flat mode. All of its faces are flat, and this is not the way that we usually will use our objects. Generally, we would do an editing, and we want them to appear in a smooth way. We can solve this issue. It's just not an issue, but we can solve it by applying a smooth with this button. It's as simple as that. But if we can see here in the cylinder, we can see that the bases of the object, the two bases of the cylinder, are not represented in a very correct way. It's like that the whole object would be not it not representing the geometry of a cylinder. So we can do to solve it. To solve this, we can select the faces. In this case, we can select the two bases and just apply a flat smoothing, shading in this case. So we can see here that the cylinder gets more correct, the way a cylinder should appear. But we can still see here the we can appreciate here the edge of the faces. So there's a better way in Blender to adjust this. I'm going to smooth the whole object, so we can see here we can appreciate the effect of the modifier I'm going to apply. I'm going to apply a edge split modifier, so we can see here the result. It's perfectly smooth in the timber of the cylinder and perfectly flat on the bases of the cylinder. So this is the best way we can see our object in Blender. So we can apply it, and if we have in Blender, I'm going to talk about it's not directly related with the smoothing, but it's something I really want to talk to you. It's about the subdivision surface modifier. With this modifier, we can smooth the geometry of a given object. In this case, we have a cylinder, and we are going to edit it in a way that its edges, in this case the bases, would be less sharpened. Okay, so let's start editing it. I'm going to select this base. I'm going to delete it. Face. I'm going to select the edges with a loop, extrude, scale, and we can see here how the object with this modifier gets smooth, rounded in this case. So we can increase the number of subdivisions in the viewport and in the render time, and we can apply it, of course, but we can see here how this object is going to getting rounded. So extrude, I'm going to grab it in the seed angle, and we can see how the object is getting smoothed, but in its geometry. And we can apply here an edge split, and we can see that if we change the angle, our object is getting flat in several faces. We can still use this modifier to get some flat rings, in this case, in the place that we need. I'm gonna get rid of this because I don't want my object to be flat anyway, and we can see that our object gets rounded. We can edit it again, and for example, scale, extrude, grab in the seed axis, etc. We can edit our object and apply a subsurf modifier. And if you don't know this, we can get rid of this, and we have an access. We can apply the subdivision modifier with a direct with a shortcut, which is Control plus 1 plus 2 or 3, and you can see how Blender applies the modifier in a given value, with a given value. If we plus Control plus 0, we deactivate this modifier. It's something similar to the exercise when we press the plus or minus button in a geometry, and it's a very interesting thing, because people who knows both softwares would be interested in that date. Okay, so we can apply this, and we can see that here our object, and we can increase the level of rings, the level of detail or object, or of our object, or in this case our cylinder, adding some new loops with the Control R key. This is very handy and a very good way to add details or rounded corners to our geometry. You can see here how we can adjust the geometry of the object very easily, in a very good way. Okay, so here it's our new model cylinder. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoy and it would be useful for you, and see you next time. Bye.